Oh my God, bro, is that you? Ugh. No, it's Karl's Riz. I'm 20 years old and I'm in a TV production class. And there's Karl going around to every single group asking to be in it, but asking in the most unlikable ways. And everyone knows Karl. He's given an impression throughout the semester and he keeps getting turned down, and then he comes to my group. And I'm feeling a little bad at this point. I'm feeling a little guilty because I feel for Karl, right? And then finally Karl comes up to me. And I'm thinking about letting him into our group just because I feel bad. My group members don't want him. But just the way he asks is so off-putting. I just look at him in the eye and tell him, nah, the vibe's all off, man. And I'm feeling a little bad at this point because I was him, right? I was the weird kid. It used to be pretty frequent that I would get thoughts like, does she like me? Do they talk about me when I'm not here? Do they secretly all hate me? And in school, I often felt like I got along with the people around me, but I was never liked or loved or even really noticed. It's like I was just skipped over. I never had those strong friendships that you saw in movies and TV shows growing up. But I learned to avoid the 5 major habits that are making you unlikable. And I noticed an immediate change in how the people around me saw me. And from there, I developed incredible, lasting friendships, dated attractive girls, and yada yada yada, some show of social proof here. I will show you the 5 social mistakes that are making you unlikable. But let's be real, bro. Is it really going to change things? Do you think the habits we're going to go over are the reason that your relationships are uncertain? Or is it something deeper? Is there a reason that every single video like this that you've seen has entertained you but hasn't actually helped you? One thing that if you just solved, it would feel like all of your relationships would just click into place. It would be easy to go up to that girl who's intimidating and get her Instagram. Making friends with the valuable guys you actually want to be around would be cake. Or those around you would see you in a new light of respect and admiration. There is, bro, but it's the kind of thing that doesn't fit into a clickbait title, and it's the kind of thing that influencers hide behind a paywall, but not here. In addition to the 5 social mistakes, I'm going to show you not only the symptoms, but the root cause. That once you fix, it's going to turn around all aspects of your social life. If you don't already know me, my name is Luke, and you've found yourself among a gang of like-minded young men no longer settling for the monotony and depression of living an average social life. If you want to join our gang of social celebrities and see more hidden gem content from an underground small YouTuber, go ahead and hit subscribe right now. The real issue isn't your habits. It is your mentality that causes them. It's the fact that you allow fear to control and influence your actions. Because what would it look like if you acted with 0 fear, bro? You gave no shits about what anyone thought about what you said or did. Obviously, you wouldn't be very well liked. Or would you? Because one of the non-negotiables for having influence in your life is giving off the impression of authenticity, honesty, or known as second-guessing your intentions or what you want. This is why some medium ugly guys get girls that are way out of their league. It's because while you were in the corner thinking of the perfect line to say, he just walked up to a girl, believing that he deserved her. He didn't stutter in his speech or give off signs of nervousness because he wasn't nervous. He didn't care if she thought he was weird or creepy. He knew he wanted to go on a date, so he said so. When you worry so much about if you are coming across as unlikable, you make it a self-fulfilling prophecy. By overthinking the line, what would happen if she doesn't like you? What would happen if you get rejected by the group? You censor yourself. You don't show the sides of yourself that some people might not like, but others would love. Your flirty side, your playful edge, your weird niche hobbies. When you try to be perfect, you give people no rough edges of your personality to hold on to. And it likely comes from getting excessive negative feedback as a kid, right? Always feeling like everything you say or do is being judged. And I'm sorry you went through that, but you cannot allow your childhood to control the rest of your life. And if you are anything like me, you might have just had an oh shit moment where things just kind of clicked a little bit. Don't waste that, bro. Get out a sheet of paper right now. If you actually want to experience this new side of life, right now is the time to take action. Your action step is to write down every reason you have that makes you believe you couldn't actually be likable. Write down exactly what you were afraid of and get about 5 to 10 of these beliefs. And I want you to stare at them in the face. Pause this video and come back as soon as you finish doing that. Okay, I'm assuming you're back. Now, take them to court. For every belief, look at it and think of each reason it might be true. And then, think of every reason that it's not true. What you find is that there's much more evidence on the side of it being false. But it's our brain's tendency to overlook that and only focus on the negative, which skews our belief systems. Maybe one of your beliefs is, I'm not funny enough. I'm just not a funny person. You start stacking the evidence. It's because Carly didn't laugh at my joke yesterday, and I have a crush on Carly. But on the other side, Sam and Eric laughed at that joke. Plus, I've told lots of jokes that have gone over well, like 5 in the past couple days. You know, maybe I am a funny guy. Plus, I used to make my cousins laugh all the time, yada, yada, yada. You get the point. What you were doing when you were taking your beliefs to court is you were going through the process that psychologists call cognitive restructuring, where you reframe your beliefs to be ones in line with reality. Because the fact is, bro, as soon as you believe that you are someone worth knowing, you tend to become one. It's the other side of the self-fulfilling prophecy. But you have to overcome your fear of negative feedback and your fear of being disliked first. And you can only do that by reframing your belief about yourself and then taking bold, authentic action to prove your new beliefs right. And until you do this, you play out these negative visualizations in your head again and again of things going wrong. What if this happens? What if this happens? These worst case scenarios. And it keeps you in the loop of overthinking and letting every great relationship, every great social experience slip you by. I personally wasted years of my life in these loops. Don't make my mistake. Comment right now your biggest negative belief and let the gang hold you accountable to overcoming it. Now that you've taken steps to overcome the real problem, the mental barrier, let's talk about the symptoms, the 5 habits that have killed your likability and how you are going to overcome each of them. The first habit is gossip. The only reason people do this is to put others down, to feel better about themselves. Why do you see yourself so poorly? Every time you participate in gossip, it makes you look like a bitch. And people, especially girls, are going to test you with it. Every time gossip comes up, see it as a test of your character. Are you the kind of guy who's going to talk about people behind their back? Or are you honest? Instead of participating, simply walk away or change the subject. Because every time you participate, it makes you look untrustworthy. If people see you talking about someone else behind their back, who's to say you're not going to talk about them later? Give the opposite of this effect by hyping people up without them being there. When someone isn't there, say the best things about them. I do this all the time with my boys. If you want to ask about Ian, bro, I'm telling them he's the most kind, caring, authentic, sweet guy I've ever met. He's helped me through some of the worst periods of my life, and I want to kiss that man on the mouth on a daily basis. I hype up my friends at every opportunity. And when you do this, not only does it usually get back around to your friends anyway, but how do you think it reflects on you for being the kind of guy who does that? People don't only think your friend's great, but they think you are a stand-up guy. They're like, damn, I want people to talk about me like that. Let me get to know this guy really fast. Next is never saying, I don't know. Pretending that you know things. What are you afraid of, bro? Why do you have to know everything? Do you really think it's a reasonable standard to set for anyone to know everything? Why would you set that for yourself? When you have the ability to say with your chest, I don't know, you eat the ignorance because people just tell you. People can catch you up and then you do know and you're no longer out of the loop. On top of this, you never have to play that awkward game of pretending to know. Even if this is with something important, right? Like a job task that's essential to your job. Tell your boss you don't know. You've never done that before. Because what's going to happen is maybe they'll be a little annoyed. Maybe they'll have to catch you up a little bit. But after that, you're on top of it. You got it. You're not going to cause problems for them in the future because now you know how not to. It also connects you with other people because it shows you aren't afraid to be honest, to be vulnerable. They feel more safe around you because now they know you aren't perfect. And it's a huge boost to your trust. Whenever you don't know something, say that. Next, never apologizing or over apologizing. Believing that if you apologize, if you are wrong, others are better than you. It makes you seem weak. But what's more weak, bro? Having a wrong opinion that you can always change, or being afraid of other people's perception of you? Personally, I was on the other end of this, where I apologized too much because I was afraid of upsetting people. I was afraid of not being liked. I was afraid that if somehow I said the wrong thing, I would be rejected from the tribe, and I would have no friends, no bitches, die alone. But this in itself made me seem unlikable because I was a pleaser. I cared too much. And when you do this, people start to think that you have other motives that you're not revealing. Why does he always walk on eggshells when he's around me? What is he worried about? It's off-putting. Overcome this by recognizing guilt. You have to be able to get in tune with your emotions a little bit here, but every time that you feel guilty about something, you feel bad, you feel like you've genuinely done something wrong, recognize it And only in these situations, apologize.
Oh, hey, it's editing, Luke. Really quick, one more point with this I wanted to say is that there's a difference between apologizing out of fear and apologizing out of guilt, right? You have to be able to have this emotional intelligence just by looking at yourself and really analyzing what feeling am I feeling. Because when you're apologizing out of fear, you're just apologizing because you aren't sure what's going to happen next. But apologizing out of guilt is when an apology is deserved. Being able to differentiate between the two is going to cause you to apologize in the correct times.
Next is deflecting compliments. This is a big one, bro. You aren't yet comfortable with the pressure of appreciation. And sure, it feels good when someone gives you a compliment, but in your head, you have this little voice that's saying, they're lying. They don't actually mean it. You don't deserve it. Why not? Because every time you brush off a compliment saying, oh, it's not that big. Luke, I love your sweaty women's hoodie. No, that's not that big. It's not that big. It's really nothing. Every time you do this, you just told someone, no, you're wrong. That doesn't feel good for them. And on top of that, it makes them less likely to say nice things to you in the future. And I'm not perfect, bro. Even earlier this week, my mom, I was walking back in from going to the gym, and my mom said, Luke, I'm getting real proud of you. You started to go to the gym years ago, and you've kept that habit up. And I said, oh, it's not that big. And I walked inside. How do you think that made her feel? Probably not great. I'm not perfect, but I take conscious action to get better and better. Every time that you get a compliment, instead of brushing it off, give strong eye contact and a sincere thank you. Instead of just brushing my mom off, I could have gone, thank you. That means a lot, Mom. And then walked inside. That would have been a much better way to handle it. And most of the time, in addition to the thank you, I like to give a compliment in return. Or if nothing else, just, that's very kind of you to say. Because compare that, oh, it's not that big, to thank you. That's very kind of you to say. Lastly is giving in to chaos. Imagine that you were at work or at school and there's this big project coming up, right? And you're working in a group for it. Do you respect the guy who's freaking out over the deadline, who's so nervous about it? No, absolutely not. Because when there are situations of uncertainty, whenever you react to it, it shows you don't have this sense of internal confidence. And the thing is, bro, most people are this way. An instant charisma boost that sets you apart from average people is developing this sense of internal confidence. And the fastest way to do this is simply by knowing and reminding yourself, you have handled every single thing that life has thrown your way so far. You wouldn't be here otherwise. What is going to make this situation different? No matter what happens, you are going to handle it. In every tough situation, reassure yourself and those around you that no matter what, you're going to handle it. Force this thought into your head and do this enough times, and naturally, you're going to start thinking and believing it. And you're going to start to have this air of confidence about you everywhere. Now that you know the real cause, along with these symptoms that kill your charisma, you are naturally going to start developing this side of yourself that is a social leader. You're going to start to experience this side of life. Just imagine for a second what it's going to be like, how good it's going to feel. Finally approaching the girl without hesitation and feeling good simply because you did it. No matter the outcome, you fucking approached. Laughing with the boys that you're closest to on a daily basis because you've developed such deep relationships. And being looked up to because you're just the kind of guy who lives life like it's a movie. I cannot wait for you to experience what this path has set out for you. If you want to be a part of the secret email list that I don't advertise anywhere else, where I send you the real things that are going to help you become a social leader in the eyes of the people around you. The kinds of things that I can't necessarily talk about on YouTube. Hit the first link in the description right now and act now and become unstoppable.